How do you get yourself one of these bad boys? The fabled TEDx. It's one of the things that most aspiring speakers put on their targets. They want to get into that big red circle and have a viral TEDx video. How do you get one of these? Well, that's what we're going to be finding out today with my guest, Alex Agresta. Bring them on camera. There we go. Bring Alex on camera. It says adding. So yes, any questions that you've got, I'm going to be asking Alex a fair few of them, try and get the ins and outs of a lot of this process. But if you've got anything extra that you want to find out, take the opportunity. Alex is coming on. I can see the flashing on the screen. There she is.
There we go.
I was worried that I'd done it wrong, or you weren't going to make it, Alex.
No, we made it. Also, there must be an update with Facebook because we look much better than how it used to look in the past. We're like side by side, which is really cool.
Yeah, I've put us landscape on my phone instead of horizontal. Yeah. I don't know if that makes it, because usually just has like the little box in the corner, I think, when you do it vertical. So I want us to be a bit more even.
This is perfect. I'm excited. Let me get a sip of water. I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right. Well, let's kick things off now that we've got you in the virtual room with us. Thank you very much for joining us today. I want to make the most of our time. We've got half an hour to suck as much knowledge out of you as we possibly can.
Yes.
And I think the best place to begin, and this is partly for my kind of personal interest as well, Alex, you're one of those people that I feel that I know better than I actually do, because we have kind of lots of conversations sort of here and there, probably since kind of COVID started, but I don't really know much about your origin story and your journey into becoming a speaker and a speaker coach. Do you want to kick things off and share a little bit about how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, great question. So I don't know if I chose this path or it chose me, but when I was 4 years old, as early as I can remember, when people asked me what I wanted to do, I would march around and say, I want to be a CEO and a motivational speaker. So I knew this was my path for a very, very, very long time, which is really cool. I feel really fortunate. And I was really lucky to grow up seeing both of my parents be entrepreneurs. And my dad wasn't necessarily a speaker, but he definitely was a speaker without knowing it. He was going to a lot of events. He was around a lot of people. He really was able to captivate the room. So I was really lucky to just see this growing up and be in this environment and see what's possible and see what could be possible for me. So really, once I went off to college and I was on my own and I'm fully independent and I'm doing my thing, I quickly realized that I love being in the room. I love being able to see people and hug people and experience the human connection magic that comes with being in the room. So, it was just a matter of time before I started my business. I did the whole, I started a company out of my college dorm room when I was a sophomore. So I did that whole thing. It was amazing. Again, this was just manifesting my whole life. But once I started my business, I realized the most powerful way to grow anything, whether it's a business, a cause, a community, wherever it is, I saw time and time again, the most powerful way to do that was on a stage. I would go to events and I would see other speakers and I would see what would happen when they would get up there courageously, speak their truth, invite people into that truth with them. So I was, I saw it with my family. I saw it with my dad. I saw it in the events I was going to. I always knew I wanted to speak, so just it all came together and I started doing it. So I was the friend in college that was like the inspirational one, and all of my friends would invite me to come speak at their after school meetings. And they're like, Alex, just come talk, you're so inspiring. Come share with us all the things. And it's been downhill ever since. I've just been doing my thing because, again, there's so much magic that comes with the stage. So here I am.
It's funny the language that you use, Alex, and it's something that I hear a lot is I think speakers, whether it's the word destiny or calling or purpose, this is something that I hear a lot. And for those of you who are watching, Wendy, Rachel, Arthur, David Martin's coming on just now, that's probably something that you felt as well, that being a speaker was just what you were meant to do. And you can't even necessarily explain why you feel you were meant to do it. You just felt that you were meant to do it. And that sounds a lot like it was your story as well, Alex. And I'm sure you see that a lot with the people who you work with.
Yes. Yeah, it's like the speaking gift, in a way, chooses you. It's just something that's bigger than myself, bigger than, the speakers that I get to work with. It's almost like we don't really have the full words to articulate it. So you're totally spot on. Like it's just the way for me. Like it just is.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Yeah. Speakers being lost for words. That's not something you hear too often.
I know. Isn't that ironic?
Just a reminder for everyone who's coming in, any questions that you've got for Alex as we go throughout this, just pop them in the chat. I'll try and catch them before the scrolling Facebook feed of doom swipes them away, and I'll pitch any that I can remember and see to Alex just at the end. But I want to take a little detour and almost fast forward a little bit, Alex, because you've got some very exciting news. There's something big happening on Saturday. Would you like to share with us? What's the big deal?
Yes. So this Saturday, oh my goodness, what a milestone moment. My TED Talk debuts. It actually is going to be streamed virtually through Facebook Live. So David, I'll make sure to get all the links over to you if anyone in the group wants to hop on and watch. I'm so excited. For me, it's been a really awesome journey with TEDx. I have been involved in the organization in so many different ways. It started with my business partner, Thomas. He was a TEDx organizer in Orlando, Florida. And he got to curate, he got to plan the event, he got to do speaking coaching. He actually then got to MC on stage. So then I followed in his footsteps. I became a speaking coach for a chapter in Colorado. Then I got invited to another chapter to lead the speaking program and create the whole speaking program for speakers. And then I now am getting to speak myself. So it's been a really incredible journey. I've been able to be involved in a variety of different ways, and I've just cultivated, oh my goodness, so much insight from being inside the TEDx arena.
So you've got a lot of things that you can share with us in terms of the inner workings of TEDx, but I would have to ask, this TEDx is a little bit different, isn't it? So do you want to just explain how this speech has actually worked? Because you've already delivered it, haven't you?
Yeah, great question. So, I mean, the landscape for speaking is definitely shifting a bit due to, everything that we've experienced 2020 and on. So what we're seeing is this emergence of hybrid. So what hybrid could look like is twofold. It could look like you pre-record a talk, and then, so I already recorded it, I delivered it on the TEDx stage. I didn't have a live audience, but that was fine with me. So we could, you can record it and then it streams at a later date virtually. So that hybrid experience it's not fully virtual because I got to get dressed up. I got to go into the stage. I had the TEDx sign behind me, but no live audience. So that's a great hybrid model. And then there's like a hybrid plus model that I'm also seeing with TEDx chapters. Some, depending on what state or what country they're at in the world, some are doing a very small audience, like very, very, very small, nothing too crazy. They're doing it in a way that can honor all the rules and regulations. So in that rate, it's still a little bit of a hybrid because it's not the full live audience, it's not the normal live event, but the speaker is still getting to speak on stage, get that legitimate and professional production. So that's my biggest little nugget I want to share with everyone. If you are in pursuit to land your dream TEDx stage in this shifting environment, it's so important to make sure that if you get that yes, that you're still going to speak on the actual TEDx stage. If they say, hey, things are different, you have to record your TED Talk in your room and then send it in, we're just going to respectfully decline that one because it's so important that you get that legitimate professional production with the TEDx stage. Yes, there we go. Yeah,
You've got to have the logo.
You don't want like a little, you know, sign in the back of you doing it yourself. So, you know, there is a way to work around all the things that are going on. And again, I want you to just always have this in the front of your mind. If you're going to do this, make sure to find a chapter that is still going to give you that TEDx experience that you deserve.
Can you give us some more insight into first the speaker application process? I'll ask you a little bit more about the coaching on the kind of back end of it. Is this your first application for a TEDx? And if you've had more than one, have you learned from the unsuccessful applications compared to this time being successful?
Yeah, amazing question. So for this application, yeah, it was 1 for 1 for me. 1 out of 1, I got selected. My other client, it was 1 out of 2. There was only one other that she applied to. My other client, she might be 1 for 1. So I share those results because there really is a method and a strategy when you are finding a TEDx stage and when you are applying. I have seen speakers apply. Oh my goodness. One of my clients told me that she knows someone that applied 154 times. So first, you know, I want to just commend that person for the commitment. Like, they are clearly committed to the cause, but that is just absurd. You do not have to apply that many times if you have the right strategy and you have insight from someone inside of this arena. That is so important because you're not going to spin in circles, you're not going to waste your time, and you're not going to have to apply 154 times. So just some nuggets for everyone, a starting place. Number 1, this is a golden nugget, and I only learned this from being inside. Majority of TEDx chapters actually like to pick speakers that are local to their city or state. So if you are in, you know, I'm in the United States, so I'm in Denver, Colorado. I got selected for a chapter in Colorado, about 4 hours from Denver. One of my clients, she got selected. She's also in Denver. So the reason being, think about it. TEDx is all about big ideas worth spreading. For all these chapters, if they select speakers from their city or state and they have these incredible ideas, it's going to put their chapter on the map. Think about Simon Sinek. Think about Brene Brown. I bet the chapter that had them speak is really damn happy and proud of themselves, right? So just think, right? Like, think of the mechanics of this. Is these chapters want people from their city or state to come on that stage and rock it with incredible ideas. So number 1, when you are starting to look local. Wherever you're at in the world, there is most certainly a TEDx chapter either in your direct city or in like the region that you're in. It doesn't have to be, you know, right down the street from your house, but if you can stay within your state, you now have increased your chances like tenfold. So that's my first nugget. And then my second nugget, another golden gem. This actually came from Thomas, my business partner. So when he started getting involved, I was like, Thomas, tell me all the inner workings. Like, how do you select speakers? Like, what's going on here? I want to know all the things. And he said, Alex, the most important thing is for a speaker, an aspiring TEDx speaker, to show the event organizer that they are a song on the mixtape. And what that means is, think of a mixtape or a CD or a playlist, like your Spotify playlist. I love Spotify. You know, there's a genre, there's a theme, there's a flow, there's a rhythm. If you're listening to soft jazz all day long and then all of a sudden a screamo hard rock song comes on, you'd probably be startled and probably start freaking out for a moment, right? Your heart's starting to beat. And I say it that way because think of that playlist as the TEDx event. And they call themselves curators because the organizers are curating a synchronistic experience, a group of speakers that has a flow to it and a harmony. So it's so important to show a chapter that you are the best damn song for that playlist. And they would be crazy not to select you. And you do that by finding out the theme of a TEDx event. So every TEDx event, I mean, I've never seen one without a theme. Every TEDx event selects a theme for that year's event. So that's your golden nugget. If you are able to show them that your message is the perfect fit for their theme, and you make that tight connection, you now are demonstrating I'm the best song for the playlist, and now you have increased your chances tenfold. If you can do that, that's the missing link. People who are applying 154 times, they're just spraying and praying their idea. And listen, I'm not here to tell you your big idea is not great. I bet it's great, but your idea on the wrong stage, you're wasting your time, your energy, your resources. We need you on the right stage with the right people saying the right thing, so your gift and your big idea, this thing that you dream about, can actually be received and your TED Talk actually goes somewhere. So those are my two, like, just golden nuggets that I've learned from being in this for a long time.
If that's been helpful for people, let us know in the comments below. Let us know, have you applied for TEDx before? Are you thinking of applying for TEDx? If you have any additional questions, pop them in the chat roll and I can swing them by Alex at the end. Let's now switch into some of your behind the scenes work, Alex. So in your role as a TEDx coach rather than a TEDx speaker, what would you say are some of the things you have to tell people over and over again? You think, oh my God, how are people coming to TEDx and not knowing this thing? Why can't they do this? Have you got anything like that bugs you a little bit?
Boy. Oh, yeah. This is the stuff that you'd probably love, David, because this is more of, the TEDx speaking coaching. It definitely falls a lot into your wheelhouse. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so the first thing, number one, the little red carpet, the little red circular carpet for TEDx? People are circling. They are pacing. They are doing karate chops. They're doing flips. I mean, it's insane how much people pace around a carpet that's not that big. And that's the only thing that makes me want to scream. I'm like, all right, listen, you gotta take a chill pill, and you just need to stand stationary in the middle of that carpet and think of yourself as a tree trunk, and you are just grounded to the earth. Right? And when we are grounded like that and we are still, that's when we can be powerful. For anyone who watches my TED Talk on Saturday or after, you are going to see I did not move. I did not move my legs. I was stationary. Of course, I moved my upper body. But when you are able to keep your legs stationary, you are actually able to move your upper body and your hands with more intention instead of pacing back and forth. I don't know if anyone's ever seen a TED Talk or any talk that they're pacing. It's distracting. I'm like, what's going on? They're fidgety, they're nervous. Like, I'm pacing along with them and I can't focus on their words. So that just drives me crazy. I want to put glue on the bottom of my speaker's shoes and just glue them to the to the freaking red carpet. So that's number one. And number two, memorization. So many people, and David, I'm sure you speak to this in your own unique way. When you try and memorize a talk, what happens is you're speaking from here. Yeah, see, I know. I'm like,
that's one of my bugbears.
Yes.
Ray will know this. I speak about this all the time.
Yes, I knew we'd find a real alignment with all this stuff with speaking. So when you start to memorize, you start to get in your headspace. And that's where things like, it needs to be perfect. I need to say the sentence exactly the way that it needs to be said. And you get out of your heart space. And the greatest speakers and thought leaders of all time are the ones who just get up on stage, they get in flow, and they speak from the heart. So I teach embodiment over memorization, because when we choose to embody our message, and we get on stage, we trust ourselves and we let it rip from the heart. When we are trying to memorize and we have note cards and we have long lists of our talk and we're just reading, we're in our headspace. And when we're here, that's not inspiring on stage or inviting. It can sound very instructional. It can sound very boxy and like this. And it's not, it doesn't have the zhuzh. I call it the zhuzh. We need the zhuzh on stage, just the oomph, like the ness that makes us us. So that's the biggest thing. TEDx speakers, they start freaking out, like literally. They're like, it needs to be perfect. I need to say it exactly the way they need to say it. And this is the nugget that I share with them. And I want to share with all of you. You are a walking, living, breathing manifestation of your message. You've lived it. You've experienced it. So are you telling me that you need to memorize your own life story? I don't think so. You know it. You lived it. So if we can, and these are just some of the practices that I help speakers to get into, for them to go, oh yeah, I have lived this. Like, what? I don't need to memorize anything. I just need to really just become more of this message. And when we get on that stage, that's when we deliver an incredible talk, like some of the greatest TEDx speakers that we see today.
We've got David Martin coming in. He'll know all about je de voir. What Alex was talking about, the je. David can do the full French translation for that. Let us know what that translates to in French, David, because it's this phrase we use in English and we probably don't know what it actually means, a bit like ambiance and all that kind of stuff.
I love that.
And just a reminder, any more questions that you've got for Alex, pop them in the comments and I'll get to them at the end. I'd like to again take a little bit of a transition here. You've started to talk about some of the things that you do with speakers, getting embodiment, getting speakers into their heart. Do you want to share with us a little bit more about what some of your key philosophies and approaches are with speakers, not just in TEDx, but who you work with as clients as well?
Yeah, beautiful. So TEDx is really just one of the stages that I help my people to get on. So really, where my heart's at, the work that I do, I work with entrepreneurs who are in a certain stage in their journey. So these entrepreneurs, they come to me and they're like, Alex, I'm feeling like there's something more in store. I'm feeling this pull. I'm feeling like I'm seeing something on the horizon. I don't quite know what it is, but I think it's speaking. I've done it. I've tasted the magic that comes with it. A lot of my speakers have gotten some really incredible paid gigs, but here's the thing, it's just happening serendipitously. It's happening willy-nilly. There's really no rhyme or reason or intention or strategy. So these entrepreneurs, they come to me when they're in that beautiful headspace and they're ready. And they are ready to share their brilliance, their wisdom, their message with the world, and they want to do it on stage. But they want to do it intentionally. They want to do it consistently, and they want to be using a strategy that has been proven to work with other speakers or other people just like them. So what I do, and this is the fun stuff, this is all my words and my vocabulary that I love to use. So what I help them do is I help them to use the stage to really make that transition from entrepreneur to thought leader, and how to use that stage to turn their business into a movement. Because that stage, it really does turn what you have on your hands into a movement. A movement is this unstoppable force that helps your people keep being who they already are. It helps your people keep doing what they want to do, keep believing in what they already believe in, and be around others just like them. Think about it. When you're on stage and you're speaking the damn truth and you're creating that like magnetic pull, people are coming up to you and saying great things like, I can't believe you said these things. I feel this way, right? They're having that response because you had the boldness and the courage to get up and say something that reawakened something that's been dormant inside of them for a very long time. You're not saying anything new. You're saying things in a different way that they've never heard it in that way before, and from someone like you. And that's the beauty, and like gives me so much hope in the thought leadership world, because that's a big question I get. Well, Alex, someone already talks about this stuff. There's already a TED talk on this. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I don't care if anyone's, of course someone's talked about it. We're not saying anything new, right? We're not saying anything new, but we're saying it in a different way. We're saying it with our own unique flair and our personality. Right? Me, I'm energetic. I use my hands. I say silly words. I say the things that speak to the people that are ready to receive what I have to say. So really, it's all about the stage, using the stage intentionally to make those energetic shifts to thought leader and movement. And a little bit deeper, more technical, is I'm working with them to integrate my method, which is called the movement method. And that's designed to do 3 important things. Get you on the right stages, with the right people in the room, saying the right things. This way, you can turn all that magic, that potential energy that you create in the room into a movement outside of the room. So now, you're using your words to not only inspire and influence and impact people, but you're moving a needle forward. Think about MLK. How did he spark his movement? How did his movement revolutionize the entire world? He used the stage, and he was in the right room with the right people saying the right things. Wow, he was actually using the movement method pretty beautifully. Right room, right people, right things, and he turned that magic into a movement. So that right there, I love MLK. I use him as a reference all the time. That is what we do. We help you really use your words with the utmost intention, embodiment, connection. You're feeling aligned. So when you're going from stage to stage, you can move a needle forward. And when we do that, the abundance starts to come. We get paid for our wisdom. We get dream clients. We get more stage opportunity. We get partnerships. We get TED Talks. We write books. I mean, the possibilities are infinite when you choose to commit to the stage.
Absolutely. I love you using an example of Martin Luther King talking about this, not memorizing. I have a dream, completely unscripted, straight off. He wasn't even planning to do I Have a Dream that day. And wow,
yes,
greatest speech of the 20th century officially is voted for. So that just shows when you get into that embodiment and that connection, all of the stuff you're talking about, Alex, that's where the magic happens, and that's where you connect with people.
Amen. Yeah. It's funny that you said that, because I recently watched the I Have a Dream speech. I just watch MLK, on like his speeches on my spare time. That's what I do as a speaking coach. And you're totally right. Like, he had went in there with a different speech and totally scratched it, went off the cuff. Mm-hmm. And that is one of the greatest speeches of all time that will go down in history like it already has. So it really is a testament to when we drop into the heart space and we trust in our heart and let that illuminate the path before us, great things can happen.
Speaking of stages and events, you ran an event last year called the Thought Leadership Summit and had a bit of a different take. It's not your traditional summit event. Would you like to share with us a little bit more about what this was all about and what you were doing?
Yeah, so this is my baby. Oh my goodness, the Thought Leadership Summit. So really the intention of this experience is immersion. So when people come to me and they're like, Alex, I want to do all the things. I want to speak. I want to craft my talk. I want to get on the right stages. Like, I'm in. I realized very quickly that my people move really fast. And, the reason I think that happens is speaking. It's a force. And once you get in it, David, I'm sure you can attest to this, things move fast. You're getting selected for this. You're winning this freaking award over here. Someone wants to hire you for this. I mean, it all happened so fast. So I created this 3-day immersive experience for when people they get that download and they're like, I'm ready to go. And I like to look at this as the launchpad experience. You get everything you need to walk out of that room to go, all right, I can do this. I see the possibility, and I now have the roadmap to get there. So it's essentially my entire method, my entire program into a 3-day immersive live experience where you can really be in it. You can be in the arena learning, we're workshopping, and you can also be around other people like you. So each day is actually a part of the movement method. So day 1 is all about birthing your movement. So birthing your movement, also something I call amplifying your authority. How do you amplify? And how do you really tell people, okay, this is what I'm doing now. This is the direction that I'm going in. How do we make you so magnetic that people are just leaning into you and going, I want to be around this person. I want to talk to this person. I want to hire this person. Then we flow into day 2, which is find stages, get booked. So I'm walking everyone through how to not just create an endless supply of stages, but how to create an endless supply that works for you, that are the perfect fit for you. Because, David and I are very aligned. I bet there would be a lot of conferences where we'd be both a great speaker, but there's nuances. There might be, a public speaking conference that's really all about the technical speaking skills. That's a better fit for him. If there's more of a speaking strategy conference where we're talking about stages, talk creation, authority, that's probably a better fit for me. So I really teach you the nuances and how to navigate discerning what's a good stage for you. This way you don't waste your time, energy, and again, we can get you on the right stages with the right people. And then the second part of this, which is really exciting, I didn't realize how powerful this was until people told me, the whole booking process. So, all of you know how to have conversations with people, right? it's pretty easy. You're speakers. But when it comes to like event organizers, people start freaking out and they're like, what do I say? What do I do? How do I talk to them? Right? So I really take you through that whole process of how do we nurture and honor event organizers? How do we be in partnership with them? And how do you get to the finish line of getting yes and also even getting paid to be in the room? So just that whole universe. And then the third day, which is the best day, is crafting a talk that inspires action. So this is where we are bringing all the words out. We're getting it out in a way that's concise, compelling, and in a way that inspires action. And on that day, anyone who comes as a VIP, they actually get to speak on stage. So day 3 is really exciting. All the VIPs get to not only learn the thing, but do the damn thing. They get to speak. They get the recording. They get photos. And of course, all of us are in the back cheering. It's an incredible experience. So yeah, that's a little overview. And again, for people that really move fast, because a lot of you do, and you're really looking for that immersive experience, that is the intention of that amazing, amazing event. It's actually coming up in May, so pretty soon here.
It's just non-stop for you, Alex. TEDx, and then the Thought Leadership Summit. You're a busy girl.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The stage, being in this arena, it never stops. It never ends. It goes so fast. I move pretty fast, but I'm trying to keep up. So you're right. But it's exciting and a lot of good stuff going on.
Absolutely. You were talking about this hybrid format that I think we're not just living through right now. This is also a glimpse of the future. The hybrid model will ultimately be the way forward. Do you want to explain how your event, this upcoming Thought Leadership Summit, is a hybrid model? So you can be there in person, but you don't have to be there in person. What's the deal with this?
Yeah. Awesome question. So we did this event November 2020, so right towards the end of the year, and we realized, we were still in the thick of everything. Things, some things are starting to open back up, but we wanted to move forward no matter what, and we also wanted to do something that was able to honor everyone. We have a lot of people out of the country. They couldn't get here. We had some people that weren't ready to travel yet. We had some people that were ready to travel. So we came together and we moved forward with a hybrid model. And we're doing that again this year. So hybrid, we have limited seats. So we have a small audience, so you can be there live in person. If you're ready to be back in the room, we have that option available. If not, we have a really incredible virtual experience where you can attend all 3 days virtually. But it's not just any virtual experience. We have worked with our team to really bridge that gap and make you feel like you are in the room with us. So we treat our virtual attendees, we call them the Zoomies. we call them Zoomies. So we treat our Zoomies just as if they were in the room. And hearing all the Zoomies experience over and over, they said, Alex, I felt like I was there. I was there. I didn't feel like I was in my own house. I didn't feel like I was, behind the computer screen. And that's the beauty of creating such a compelling and magnetic event, is we can transcend our physical location. So if you're feeling this, you want to learn more, but you're somewhere else in the world or not really ready to travel yet, we have that amazing virtual option for you as well. So this way you could still do it. You won't miss out. And then we have some exciting incentives to get you in the room the next time that you can come, so you can experience both virtual and in the room.
Awesome. David says that it sounds like another David, not me speaking about myself in the third person. David Martin says that sounds like a super summit. Brenda K loves the Zoomies.
Yep, Zoomies.
And this is something that my clients, the Facebook group in general, always ask me. They're asking me, David, how do I get on stages? How do I get paid for speaking? And I say, I'll teach you how to be a shit hot speaker. But all of that side of things, I've done it, but it's not my expertise. And this is the reason why I wanted to chat with you, Alex, because this is your expertise, is getting people on stages, getting paid gigs, running your own events, bringing in that business side of things, and ultimately getting some income. There's no point being inspiring if you don't have the income. You want to have a full-time gig that keeps your lights on so that you can have light and illumination going into the world. You can't be a lighthouse if you can't keep the lights on. That's a saying that I've heard.
I like That's good. That's good.
Not mine. I can't claim credit for it, but I think that sums it up pretty well. So if anyone who's interested in attending the Thought Leadership Summit, if you're in the States, you can attend in person. If you're part of our international audience, you can get yourself into the Zoomy crowd. Message me, post a comment in the video of this saying, I'd like some more information. Send me a message. David, can I get some more information? I'll post about it a little bit more in the group over the next sort of month or so. As Alex says, it's starting in May, so we've got a little bit of time to share some more information with you. Of course, reach out to Alex as well. She can give you, it's her damn event. She can tell you better than I can all the ins and outs of it.
Yeah.
What I want to do now, Alex, is just finish off on some of the questions that we've got coming through. So there's a few that I've picked up on. If anyone's got any more questions, this is your last chance. Alex is only here for 30 minutes. I've actually got no idea what the time is, but I know we're getting up to it soon.
So we're good. We're good. I want to answer a couple of questions.
So something that Mayura was asking is, how early are themes revealed for the TEDx talks? And I think I'll just add something onto her question in terms of how far in advance should you be looking for a TEDx talks, and how far in advance should you be expecting to apply for a TEDx talk?
Yeah, awesome question. So it really all depends on the specific chapter. Each chapter has their own timeline. Each chapter opens the speaker applications at a different time than another chapter. So I'm going to share with you 2 tools. I'll share with you one free tool, and then I'll also share a paid tool, and I'll make sure to share the links in the comments. So the free tool, you can just use TEDx.com/events. And there's like a beautiful little map that comes up, and you can just click where you live in the world, and then it'll zoom in, and then you'll see a bunch of dots. And those dots are all the chapters in that city or state or region in the world. So if you're wanting to do this, like, start looking right now just to open that field of possibility, see what's out there. And then each chapter, for the most part, has a website or a Facebook page where you can see that timeline. You can see when their event is. You can see when they're opening and closing applications. So I would go check that out. And then for anyone who's just like, I'm not a researcher, I don't want to do any of that. Like, I have 2 types of people. The ones that are like, yeah, I'm down to do some Googling. And then I have the people that are like, Alex, no, just send me what I need to buy. Just don't want to do this. So I found a really awesome, affordable tool. It's a whole curated list of 2021 TEDx events. And it's already researched. It's already all in a great document for you. So again, I'll make sure to share that in the comments. So if anyone wants to go check that out, a few of my peeps have bought it and they really love it. But I would definitely give the free tool a try first, just so you can see what's out there. And then if you want something that's more, curated and researched for you, there's another great tool out there. And then as for finding out the theme, 2 parts. TEDx chapters either do a really good job and let you know that on the website or on the application, and sometimes they don't. So just do your best to search around the website, see if you see the theme. If not, what I tell my peeps to do is just reach out. There's going to be an email on the website or on the Facebook page. You can find people on the team on LinkedIn. Just reach out and say something like, hey, I found the TEDx blank chapter, TEDx Denver chapter, and I'm so excited to put my name in the hat. I would love to know, what is the theme of the event this year? I know how important it is to select speakers that align with the theme, and I want to make sure I know that before I apply. Thanks for your time. Excited to hear back. So even that message in itself is really showing that you care about this, and that you care about their time, and that you only want to apply if you know that your message aligns with that theme. So it's actually a twofold. You're finding out the information that you need, and you're also putting a name to the face to that chapter of like, hello, here I am. It's just another touch point.
Mm-hmm. That brings up something else. It's not a question in the comments, but I thought I would ask. I think sometimes people think that you have to know the right person. So you need to know someone on the TED team, or you need to get a little invite in there. In your experience, I'm sure it does happen, but in your experience, how often would you say that that's happening, that someone actually knows someone that gives them a little bit of an in, or are people just coming in completely cold the majority of the time?
Yeah, amazing question. So I would say people are completely cold about 95% of the time. And thinking that you need to know the right person or you need to reach out to the organizers and do all that, I do not recommend doing that. I think about how I feel when people just hit me up in my inbox and they're like, "Hey, Alex, right? You're the head speaker director for TEDx Breckenridge. Do you need me to speak?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to. That doesn't feel authentic. That doesn't feel good." So if you think you need to know the right person, if you think that you need to like spam event organizers' inbox, don't do that. It doesn't make us feel good. Put your time, energy, and focus into the strategy, into making that speaker application just absolutely out of this world. If you have to do an audition video, do the same with that. Put all of your focus into that. And once that application gets submitted, it will catch the attention of people like us, right from the inside. It will catch our attention. And if it does, you may get invited to speak or to audition. But doing it the other way, just cold pitching, that actually decreases your chances. So don't do that.
Glad we cleared that up. No spamming, please.
Yes.
You're better than this, Raze. No spamming.
No spamming. Just again, put your energy and focus into the strategy, and you will increase your chances without stepping on anyone's toes.
Have a final question, then we'll wrap things up, Alex. Claudia's asking just how can she get in contact with you? Is just clicking the tagged name on Facebook the best way? Are you on LinkedIn? How would you prefer to have people reach out to you?
Yeah, just anyone who wants to connect, just click my name and send me a friend request. Also send me a message so I know where you came from. Yeah. Just give me a little note that you saw my live in the Rise and Inspire Speakers group. And then if you also do want to add me on LinkedIn, I do post content on there. You can definitely add me. But in terms of just communicating and chatting, Facebook is the easiest way to connect quickly and chat through Messenger.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing all your wisdom, sharing the insight. It's really great to hear actually both sides of the TEDx experience, being a speaker and then working with speakers. If anyone's interested in any of the stuff Alex has been talking about, you want to see the TEDx catalog, you want to find out more about the Thought Leadership Summit, any of that, post in the comments, message me, message Alex. Alex, do you have any final words you want to share? An inspirational quote? I'll let you finish on a high.
Yes. Well, first, I just want to thank you for having me, David. David and I have been connected through the interwebs for, I don't know, like a year and a half now. And it's just really cool to be doing work that's so complimentary. And it's really awesome that there's someone out there like you really helping people to hone in on their speaking gift and become a great speaker. And it's just even more awesome to, once all of you are like, all right, I'm ready. Now what? It's really awesome now to be in this sphere and to help you with the now what. I was joking around yesterday. I was like, I'm the now what person. When you're a speaker and you're like, okay, now what? You come on to me, I gotcha. So with that, I just want to thank you, and I will leave everyone with one last nugget. And this is actually my TED Talk. This is my book. So it's a nugget that's so near and dear to my soul. So if there was anything that inspired you today, if there was anything that sparked something for you, I want to share that things don't take time, they take courage. Time is simply a witness, and it watches us do, and it also watches us not do. And courage is this catalyst that comes in like this wrecking ball, and it helps you be who you want to be and do what you want to do and do remarkable things in record-breaking time. So put your little courage cap on and just ask yourself, what's one thing that you can do today to act on something that you learned with this amazing conversation with David and I?